the best we can to keep you apprised of everything. It'll be Avolia, Straub, and Zachi. Palladino and Stillwagon, your D. Neutral zone faceoff brought in by Chicago. They'll wind up from the right side, firing high and over the net. Kept in by Chicago, blocked by Avolia. Back to Chicago. He'll shoot off the skate of Stillwagon to the stick of Palladino and out of the zone. Chasing it is Avolia. Pressure from Zachi. Zachi and Avolia with Straub going to work. Strauby with the pick. It's on the left wing side of the, well, actually right wing side of the Chicago end. A breakout attempt from Chicago. They'll have to go behind the net and regroup. Trying to break it out, but Zachi there. Zachi fires one towards the net. A moving goalie almost snuck past him on the short side, but it hit off the side of the cage. Pressure in deep by the Pens. Chicago plays it up and past the defender. It will be far enough for an icing. We'll go back into the Chicago end. 9:30 to play. It's a 1-1 tie. Here from Mount Clement Ice Arena in Michigan, the CCM MoTown World Invitational. Thanks to everybody following along at home. We're happy to be able to bring you the broadcast. Thanks to all the people here, the families, the friends of the players. Doing a great job. We have video feeds set up behind the cages for the goalie coaches to work with the players. And all the parents are really helping me out so that I can help you see your favorite Pens Elite players from all the way back in Pittsburgh or Ohio or Mexico or Guatemala, wherever you are. A shot from the Pens. It's Goldberg, top of the circle, and his shot will find the back of the cage. Looked like it snuck 5-hole on the netminder. The Pens will take a 2-1 lead. A shot again from near the top of the point. Goldberg has a howitzer. I believe he has to register that at the state lines in order to cross over and bring it with him into Ohio and Michigan on the way here. What a blast from Goldberg to give the Pens a lead. He's got both the Pens goals, but it's Chicago into the Penguin end. Pressured there by Stillwagon. Centering pass cut off by Zachi and taken by Baru. Baru up the left side. He gets a step. He finds some space, gets it deep, and Hassenkope will go to work. And behind the net. But it'll be a breakout for Chicago. They're up the right wing side. Into the Pens end. Played out in front. Centering pass. Helsel gets there. But it comes off Helsel. They're going to say it's in the net. We believe it was in the cage. It came off Helsel's pad. Helsel got the initial save, but it was flicked back at the goalie. And it went off the inside of his pad and trickled across the line. And the Chicago Bulldogs have tied the game at 2. A back-and-forth contest here early. 8:33 to play in the period. We have played just under 6, about 5.5 minutes, just under 6 minutes. We've got 4 goals. It'll be Avolia on the draw with Strauby and Lorzy. Played back to Baru. Baru looking. Goes around one. Tries to go around a second. Picked off by Chicago. Hooked down to the ice. Was a Chicago player. It'll be a penalty on the Pens once we get control. So it was a 3-on-1 and a hook by the Penguin defenseman, Stillwagon. He'll head to the sin bin for his sin bin selfie. A great Team Nooch tradition. So with 8:10 to play, the Pens will have to kill their first penalty of this game. They have a power play goal. We're going to see Avolia and Lore. Ulowitz and Palladino, your defense, on the penalty kill. Avolia battling for the faceoff. It'll be taken by Chicago, centered. The stick of Ulowitz in the way back to the point, sent back in front. Nothing there. The corner it goes. Chicago looks to set up their power play. Played out in front, chipped wide by the Chicago forward. Palladino to battle in behind. Puck played up, looking to center where Chicago, Yulowitz kicks it. It comes to a Chicago player who fires wide of Helsel. Lorzy with the puck. He plays it off the boards no further than the point. Sent back in front, stopped by the skate of Palladino. He works it up for Avoli, and the Pens get it out of their end. It's carried by Avolia into the Chicago left wing side. Lorzy follows on, flips it to Avolia. He turns with it, goes into the corner, looking to center, but it's chipped back around for Lohr. Lohr supporting on the wall nicely. Pens trying to keep it in. Chicago will play it up off the wall and try to go get it. Yulowitz sent it back the other way, and I'll try again, and able to take the puck out of the Pens end nicely there. Circling in center is Chicago, though. 46 seconds left on the PK. Yulowitz plays it into a Chicago player who plays it in behind the net. Pens defense back to it. It's Palladino clearing it up and over the line. 32 to play on the PK. Hassenkope was able to get out. He's made the change. Still see Strawby out there back into this PK. And the Pens defense, I don't think, was able to change. A shot from outside on Helsel. He puts it high and over the cage. Nice save there. Strawby plays it up and again he's able to clear the zone. 8 seconds left in the penalty, so I think the Pens will get the kill here. But here comes Chicago with some speed. Doesn't get any further than my man. Who is that? Pegley. Pegley battling at center ice. Got a poke check. Comes back to Palladino. Covering for the D was Kumnik, and now Stillwagon's out there. Looks like we have 3 defense on the ice. Tripped up is Pegley on the sidewall. No call. Comes around for a shot. Now there is a call. Something behind the net. Players down. Looks like a Chicago penalty. So we'll go back with the lethal Seven Fields Wealth Management power play number 2 for the Pens. Not sure what the call is going to be. We got 2 minutes. He's having a discussion with the official. We're going to get a call of nothing out loud. All right, not sure what the call was behind the net. But the Pens are back on the power play. Avolia with the faceoff win. Baru with the puck. He looks up and tries to send it all the way up to Hassenkope, but it's picked off by Chicago. They're into the Pens end, spinning with it. Into the corner. Goldberg back to get it. He's got both your Penguin goals so far in this one. Baru to the puck. He plays it up, but stopped at the blue line. Pens power play stuck in their own end here. Goldberg comes out with it. He plays it up for Avolia. Avolia off the skates of Hassenkope. Into the Chicago end it goes. Onside. Chicago plays it out to center. Past the reach of the center for Chicago. Falling down is Hassenkope. Baru skates into it. Players in behind. Baru's got some space and some speed. He's cut off by the offside defender, and the Pens will go offsides into the zone. 1:09 to play on the power play. 4:57 to play in this first period of a 2-2 tie game. Lots on the line here for your Pens. Neutral zone face-off. Won by the Pens here, trying to get into the Chicago end. It's Palladino in his own end. He gets it up for Strawby. Chicago in offside, it looks like. It's Kumnik to the puck in the offensive zone. I'm doing a couple things up top, so bringing the audio here as best we can. We adjust some things. The Pens do have the puck in the Chicago zone. Brought back on by Chicago. They'll take control and throw it into the Penguin end. Chicago short-handed coming from around behind, challenged nicely by Straub. Able to keep it out. Behind the net is Straub again. He's bodied to the ice. No call there. Palladino pressures the puck. Down goes a Chicago player, and Kubnik will follow on. Kubnik from behind his own net. Just curls out in front. He's got some room up the right. Skating with speed. Kubnik in over the Chicago line. Pressured from behind. Trying to fend him off again. Pens are onside. Following on to it is Palladino. It's sent in behind the cage. Lorzy there. Lorzy in the left wing corner. Battling. Out comes the center. And into the Pens end. Behind the net, Ulowitz. He's cut off by a Chicago player. Lorzy picks it up and carries it out. He's up through center. Carrying over the Chicago Bulldog line. He's looking to center, cut off by a defenseman. Chicago will circle and try to clear the zone. Centering pass comes to Avolia. He fires, unable to get there. But with the rebound cleanup, folks, in front of the net, you guessed it, it's 97. 97 for the Pens with the first period. HT. The hat trick for Goldberg. Giving his dad the point. Dad gives him the thumbs up from the sin bin. 3-2 Pens, 2:32 to play. Looking for hats to litter the ice. They're being stomped by the netting here, as the thousands upon thousands of fans in the arena raining their hats down into the nets. For the Goldberg, not goalie, HT. Ulowitz behind the net gets it to Goldberg. Goldberg up the right wing side. He's through center ice. He's hounded from behind. Uses the body to protect the puck. It pops free to Lohr. Lohr trying to play the puck in deeper. He's able to get it to Avolia. Starting. Donnie dangles again. Throws it to the middle. Goldberg with the pressure forces it deeper. Lorzy will be there too. He's knocked down on the play, and up come the Bulldogs. A flip out the center. Had a guy tucked in behind, but the speed of Stillwagon there to break up that play. He plays it back for Goldberg. Back to Stillwagon. Clears it up, but cut off by a Chicago player. He's into the zone. He looks. He fires off the side of the cage. In behind the net. Centering pass cleared out by Baru. Sent in towards the net, but the stick of Avolia there. He's out past center red. He looks to gain the Bulldog zone. He's able to do so. He's on his backhand, driving it and throwing it just wide of the net. In behind are the Pens. Out with it is, looks like Hassenkope. It is Hassenkope. He finds Straub. Straub throws it towards the net, unable to connect. In the zone is a Penguin player trying to gather. It looks like a yard sale up there. We have a stick and a glove all on the ice. He gathers it in, and Pens will be able to enter the zone onside, it looks like. Thrown D to D by Chicago as they look to run the breakout. Palladino looking for Kubnik there. Sent back to the stick of Hassenkope. He spins out of pressure towards the wall and safety. Skates into the defender, and it's turned back to Chicago. Palladino in behind the net. He looks to reverse right into a Chicago player. He come out in front off the pad of Helsel. Out deep, and it skitters in front of the net. No one there to connect. Chicago applying some pressure. The Pens were unable to get out of their zone. But now they'll try to skate it out. It's Hassenkope. He's into the Chicago end, dumping it deep. Double zeros on the clock. That'll end period number 1. A 3-2 lead for the Penguin. 3 goals all from Goldberg on the play. Or on the period. Here's the lineup for your 2011 Pens Elite.
Number 1, Squishy Evans, St. Killian's Parish School.
Number 12, Maddox Pegley, Todd Wayne Elementary. Number 14, Grayson Baru, and I go to Elwood City School District.
Number 21, Ty Avoya, Fort Charlie Elementary. My number's 24. My name is Andrew Hazelcoat, and I go to Mars Elementary. 28, Hunter Stillwagon, West Mifflin School District.
Number 34, Austin Tunick, Hayden Elementary.
47, Isaac Helsel, Knox School.
Number 58, Boyden Yolitz from McCormick Elementary.
Number 61, Ryan Moore, Hayden Elementary.
Number 63, Brody Straub, Avalon Elementary.
I'm number 83, Lucas Ashley, and I go to Mars Area School District.
Number 89, Philip Palladino, J.H. Brooks Elementary.
97, Nathan Goldberg, Penn Trafford.
And we're back to live action. A shot from the side by Zachi. We're underway, about 10 seconds in here. Chicago looks to clear. It's just past the stick of Stillwagon, and they'll come in 2-on-1. A centering pass, unable to be collected. And it's played into the corner. The left wing corner of the Penguin zone. Chicago on the attack. They played it up to the point. Unable to get it further. Cleared up, but not out by the Pens. They bring it back in. A backhander sent wide of Helsel. It's in behind the cage. It's carried up and skated out by Goldberg. Battle on the wall. Avolia flips it up. Gets it to the stick of Goldberg. That's Zachi into the zone. Zachi's pulling it back, looking to center. Able to do so, but it's cut off by Chicago and sent back to Pegley at that point. Pegley trying to keep it in, does for a second, but skating onto it is support from Chicago, and they play it cross ice and into the Pens defensive zone. Stillwagon back to get it. He'll battle on the boards. He gets support from his partner. A shot from out in front. Nice stop by Helsel. And he battles and keeps that rebound out as well. Chicago with some offensive zone pressure here. Dangle by Chicago player. He's in and shoots high and wide. Over the glove hand side of Helsel. Penguins get control in behind. Look to run the breakout. It's chipped up to the point for Hassenkope. Followed on by Goldberg, I believe. Spinning with it is Lorzy. Lorzy able to get it out over the line. Skating into it, 97 Goldberg. He's taken down, no call. Skating in behind is Chicago, and they'll look to break out with speed. Pressure from Hassenkope breaks that play up a little bit. A battle will happen on the wall, but Chicago will advance it into the Pens' end. Carried into the half wall. A shot just wide of the cage. Turning with it is Chicago. They bank one off of a Penguin defender. Getting to it is Straub. He tries to play it up, but it's bounced off the player and centered by Chicago. Penguin defender in the way there and able to get it up as far as the blue line, but not out. Off the wall. Trying again to clear. This one's sent out in front. Comes back to the point man. He winds up and fans on a shot. They're still able to keep it in. Penguins under a lot of pressure here early, period 2. A centering pass cleared out nicely by the Pens D. Don't believe it'll be far enough for icing. The Pens will look for line changes. Pressure from Hassenkope. Forces a pass up to the right side. In comes Chicago. 3-on-3. Pens able to change most, if not all, the players behind the play. Hassenkope ends up with it, and he'll skate it free. Looks up for Baru. But it's turned back the other way. 3-on-1 developing. A shot blocked by Palladino. It's in the corner for Hassenkope. He plays it in behind for the Pens defense. 10:30 to play, period number 2. 3-2, your Pittsburgh Penguins. Out to center comes, looks like Lure and Palladino. A scrum on the wall. Look like they need to toss a rugby ball out there. 6, 7 kids all within a hula hoop's radius of each other. Chipped into the Chicago end by the Pens, where Chicago will look to regroup. They gain the right side of the ice, cutting back into the middle, staying on sides nicely. Looking for the pass. He sends it into the middle, cut off by the Pens and played up to the wing. Goldberg for Hassenkope. He crisscrosses at center. Driving wide. He's got Goldberg in the middle. A shot from Hassenkope up over the net. Goldberg turning with it. He looks to pass. It comes back to Palladino. Chip past his stick and back comes Chicago 2-on-1. Cutting to the middle. Firing up high and over the net. Ulowitz back. Collecting it behind the cage. Centering pass off the feet of Palladino. Cleared by Ulowitz, and he'll look to skate it out of danger. He gets it wide and up to, over the blue line. Nice skating here from Ulowitz. Crossing into the zone and getting it further into the Chicago end. Straube battling there. Tossed up and all the way down the ice. It would be icing, but it's not far enough. Collected by Chicago and sent behind the Pens net. No whistles, I don't think, here in the second so far. Chicago with possession, spinning, shooting, blocked out front. Chipped up in the middle. Sent in behind the cage. Cleared by the Pens to the stick of Kumnik. He'll chip it out of danger, and the Chicago team will regroup at center. A D-to-D pass, moved up to the wing, reversing the angle of attack. Carrying it in at Chicago on his backhand, sending it just wide of Helsel. Collecting it in behind, the Penguins defenseman. He skates with a purpose and clears the zone. With speed comes 97 Goldberg. He's up over the line. He stops, he pops, he sends it just wide. The rebound comes out in front. Cleared back in behind by the Chicago Bulldogs. Kumnik in after it. Kumnik on the forecheck. Sent up to the Chicago line and out. Pens defense will look to regroup. They play it high off the wall. Hassenkope in after it. He's bodied off the puck. Avolia's turn. His pressure forces the turnover to Straube, who plays it in deep. Sent deep by Straube. And Chicago will look to break out. Up through center and shot the whole way down the ice. No icing, is saying deflected. I'm not sure what it was deflected by other than the rest of the ice. But Rue back to get it. He sends one off a Chicago player. He'll look to reverse and come right up the middle of the ice. One move around a player. He's hooked, no call. Baru back to the puck. He'll slap it down the ice. Picked off by Chicago, and they look to counterattack. Pens getting in the way of that. A battle on the wall. Let's see who wins it. Comes to Avolia. Well, it looks like Goldberg might have... Well, maybe Pegley. Pegley took a penalty, I think. It was a bigger guy, I think, with a hit along the wall. We have... It is 12. Pegley, he's going to get the call. 2 minutes. I couldn't see what the call was for. It was along the boards. I believe they're calling a rough. They're calling a roughing call. And I believe that Chicago may have switched their goalies here. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure what number was in net before. Anyway, back to the point. Chicago, a shot in low. Spun on. Goldberg able to get control and clear the zone. The Pens on the penalty kill. 2 minutes on the board. Pegley in the box. Played up for Avolia. He keeps it in the Chicago end shorthanded. Goldberg will pressure. Goldberg's pressure forces the turnover to Lure. He comes off the wall, round one. Looking to shoot. Fought off by the goalie. A rebound. Huge save by the netminder. Comes back towards the net and just off the outside of the cage. Pressure from Goldberg. Turnover to Lure. Lure again forcing a turnover. This all shorthanded pressure for your Pens. Lorzy skating to it. Now it's Goldberg turning. He tries to center. It's up high off the off of a player. It's to Ryan Lohr in front from Goldberg to Lohr. A short-handed goal for the Pens makes it 4-2. Ryan Lohr and Nate Goldberg in their own end, or in the Chicago end, just pressuring the puck. They had a huge chance. The goalie made a diving save back to stop Goldberg from getting number 4 on the day. But the pressure went from the right side to the left, and Lohr stayed on it. He pressured the puck again, got it deeper in the zone, followed on by puck support from Goldberg. He was able to just make a play, trying to center it. It bounced off one or two things, came back to him. He was able to toss it right back to Ryan Lohr, who made no mistake about it and buried it. Lorzy in the back of the net. 4-2 Pens. Chicago applying some power play pressure here and gets a backhander from the slot, and that'll beat Helsel on the blocker side. A power play goal, so a shorty and a power play goal on Pegley's penalty. And we are back to a 1-goal game, 4-3. If you thought this was going to be easy, it is not. Chicago playing for a playoff spot. The Penguins playing for a playoff spot. The Pens need a win or a tie. Chicago with a tie could still get in, but they'll need some help. A win puts them into the zone. Helsel directs that one to the corner. Avolia crunched from behind. No call. Works itself free. Pens try to clear. Hasenkope on the wrong side of the defender there. Cleared up and not quite out of the blue line. Baru looks to clear it. It goes to Avolia. Hasenkope too high up in the zone. The defenders keep cutting in front of him. Worked back to the glove of Helsel, and he makes a big save. That shot coming from the top of the circles, and Helsel able to track it, see it cleanly, and snag it with the glove. 4-3 Pens. This one sent in behind the net. Julewicz there. He'll come away with it. 5-on-5 hockey here. Coming off of a power play that saw both a power play and a shorthanded goal. Sent back in on net by Chicago. Helsel there for the first set. The wraparound attempt, no good. Defended off by the Pens defense. Played back in front. Forehand to backhand. And he pulls it around the sprawling Helsel and ties the game at 4. The puck popped free into the slot. No one behind the player for the Chicago team. And he was able to make a move and pull it around the netminder. Tying this one at 4, 4:27 to play, period number 2. Pens bring it into the Chicago end. Worked behind the net, Zachi scored from there yesterday. Was able to battle in behind, pull it out in front, and bury one. This one taken by Chicago, but not cleared. Goldberg to the puck. Gets it to Zachi. Zachi fires off of a defender. Comes to Goldberg. His shot off the knob of the stick and sent just wide of the net. Lorzy battles in the corner. Lohr and Goldberg, a good combination in this one. Goldberg seems to be a good combination with anybody right now. Into the zone comes Chicago. They're into the right wing corner. Shot in on net. Blocked off by a Penguin defender. They'll try to clear. Clearing pass cut off again. They'll try to skate it out this time. Stopped at the blue line, but it will get to center ice. Chicago will work it back in. Baru under some pressure. He's able to get it to, I believe, Pegley, playing it between his legs. Unable to clear there. Comes back to the point. Shot in. Bounces just wide. Lots of traffic in front. Centering pass again. This one comes to the backhand of a Chicago player. Defended off nicely. Pops in on net. Helsel, I believe, with the save. Worked to the corner and out by Zachi. Following on is Lohr. Lohr getting it up into center ice where Chicago will have to regroup. Pens under a little bit of pressure here. A cross ice pass intercepted by Pittsburgh. Into the zone comes Pegley. He loses control, and back comes Chicago. They're in 1-on-2, 2-on-2 now. Hasenkope's pressure helping to break up that play. The puck is on the side of the cage, battled for, whistle. What do we have here? Covered puck, I think. Looks like a covered puck at the side of the cage, and the Pens will have a defensive zone draw. 2:28 to play, period number 2. Live from Mount Clement Ice Arena. It'll be Kubnik on the draw. Chicago winning it and getting a shot towards the net. Ends up behind, worked from low to the slot there. Shot in on net, blocked. Rebound out in front. Helsel will get it and cover it. No goal. Helsel with the stop, getting on top of the puck. I believe they dug it out from under him. And put it in, but it's not going to count after it's covered by the netminder. And the whistle blows, or there was an intent to blow. 2:12. 4-4 game, second period. Exciting action here from the MoTown World Invitational. The Penguins player adjusting his mask. It's Kubnik. Worked in behind the Pens net, Palladino. Palladino up for, I believe that's Stillwagon. A shot in on net, comes around, and this one will get past Helsel. Pressure in front, a bouncing puck, it popped free to a Chicago player, and he was able to pot it in behind. It's 5-4 Chicago with the lead. Pens under a lot of pressure here in this period. Have had trouble getting it out of their own end. Pens need to work deeper in their zone. The forwards need to get deeper and help the defense out, clearing the zone. It'll be Kubnik with the faceoff win. He turns at center ice. Striding up through center. He's into the Chicago end, but turned back the other way. Sent back to the blue line. The Penguin in offside, but the Pens don't get the puck in, which is good. It'll be Hasenkope and Kubnik battling. Out of it comes Chicago. Up the right side. He's trying to center, broken up nicely by a Penguin. Sprawled on the ice as they work on the wall. Played out. And it's Kubnik through center. He's got speed. He pulls up. He stops. He looks for Hasenkope. Just past his reach. Into the right-hand corner. Chicago to the puck, and they look to break it out of the zone again. Pens with pressure on the rush, but having trouble sustaining that pressure for a long period of time in this one. Chicago player tries to cut back in the middle. He gets no further than Ulowicz, who plays it up to the blue line. We have a whistle. We are going to have a penalty. This one on Chicago. And we'll put a big old turkey on the table for the Pens Elite. 55 seconds to play, period number 2. We'll go to the Seven Fields Wealth Management power play. Pens with a power play goal. Pens with a shorthanded goal. Special teams have been their friend so far in this one. We'll see Zachy, Avolia, and Goldberg. Baru and Stillwagon the D. Baru banks the puck off of a Chicago player. Comes to Zachy. Zachy trying to center. His pass intercepted. Played back up for Stillwagon. Stillwagon sends it back to the line, but no further, and Chicago comes in. Shot from outside, tracked by Helsel and put into a corner. 33 seconds to play in the period. We'll count the period down. The Pens, if they don't score, will start the second on a power play. Avolia plays it in behind. He's going to have Zachy on the other side. A nice reversal. Cut off by Chicago. Battle on the wall. Chicago wins it. Comes out. High slot. Stick check by the Pens. They play it up but not out. Kept in again by Chicago. This time it comes to Goldberg. He tries to clear for Zachy. Bounced off of a Chicago player. Double zeros on the board, and we'll end period number 2. 5-4. Chicago will have 1 minute and 5 seconds of power play time when we return to action. Welcome back. We're back live, third period, 14 minutes on the clock, 5-4 Chicago. This game so far for the Pens can be described in one word. I don't know if you want to call it Goldie, the kid with the golden stick. Nate Goldberg, 3 goals and a helper so far in this one, has the Pens 5-4, just 1 goal behind Chicago. Ulowitz into the zone. He stops, centers, finds Kumnick. Kumnick's shot fought off by the by the Bulldog goalie. Back to Zachy. Zachy sends one in. It goes just wide. Back to Ulowitz. Ulowitz fires it up, gets to Kumnick. Kumnick's shot pops off the goalie. Rebound there. It's up, and no, it's just kept out. The rebound sent high and wide by, I think, Lohr. Yep, Ryan Lohr on that one. It came off a body, just popped up in the air. I thought from this angle it might find the back of the cage. It does not. 10 seconds to play on the power play for the Penguins. Avolia, Goldberg, and Hassenkope. Baru and Pegley, your defense pair. Avolia ties up the face-off nicely, gets it to Goldberg. Played to Pegley, Pegley back to Goldberg. Goldberg down to the ice, but it's Avolia with the interception. He goes around one. I think he was looking to pass there, just couldn't get it off. Pegley with the puck. He possesses it center. He passes to Hassenkope at the Bulldog bench. Penalty over for Chicago. Pegley with the puck. Pegley loses control in his own end. And on comes Chicago. Pegley will try to get it back here. Battling. A centering pass. Cut off by Baru. Goldberg to it. He plays it off the side wall up to the point. Avolia to pressure there. Chicago takes it in and sends it back in behind. Baru skating around and out, able to go high off the glass and clear the zone. Sent back for Pegley. Pegley loses control. He's got Baru next to him. Moved up for Hassenkope. He's in onside. Plays it to the middle to the stick of Goldberg. They collapse quickly on him, and back come the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs into the zone. Off one player, sits free. Dangerous spot, clear to the point, not out. Whacked that and cleared by Avolia. Palladino plays it to the point. They send it back in. Avolia's stick there again. Strong with that stick. He's able to get it up and out of the Penguin zone, but Chicago right there to cut it off and come back in. Chicago Bulldogs lead 5-4. In comes a pop free to a Chicago player, and he's stoned by Helsel on the short side. Nice save by the Penguin netminder. 11:16 to play. 5-4 Chicago Bulldogs. Zachi pressuring behind. Both players go down. The Bulldogs able to work it into the right-hand corner and come out. Cut off at the blue line by Hassenkope. He makes a move around one. He'll fire. And I think it's just wide. A nice, hard, rising wrist shot there. Palladino playing the puck at center. It's tipped up by Stillwagon. Skating through it is Kumnik. Dumped on the play in front for the Pens was Zachi. Chicago up the right side, weaving and getting into the Pen zone. Comes to Stillwagon. Stillwagon plays it to the corner. Palladino there. He plays it up for Zachi. Past him to the point. Cut off by Kumnik. And he'll get control. It's a 2-on-2. He looks to challenge up the middle. He's around one. He pulls it through the other. In just to the right of the cage. He'll gain possession in behind the Chicago net. Straube will work it back to him. Unable to reach for it was Kumnik. Now it'll be Zachi's turn to pressure. He does so and gets the puck forced back into the Chicago end. Chicago flips it back up and is able to clear the zone. They come in 2-on-2 with a back-checking Straub. Around a defender, centering the pass. Straube there to tie up the player. Sent back in, and there's Helsel with the glove. A nice glove save from 47 in black. It'll be Avolia, Hassenkope, and Lorzie. Pegley and Ulowitz, the D. Pegley with the puck. He's battling on the wall. The breakout pass taken by Chicago. They'll look to force some pressure. A defender from the point brings it in. Dangles one or two players. He possesses. Sends it in front. Turns into a 3-on-1 down low. Penguins got to chasing that young man around and left the back door open, but the defenders were there to cover. Pegley tries to clear to Lord. Two players in the way. He runs over a player in the corner who's down. And we have do we have a whistle? We have a whistle. We might have, I don't know if we have a whistle. The referee wasn't paying any attention to the play. He was looking at the player, but he hadn't blown the whistle yet. Helsel does get this puck covered. 9:02 to play. It's a 5-4 Chicago Bulldog lead. Player involved in a collision with 12, Pegley. So this young man's okay. Referee's having a conversation. I may have lost the battery. I'm going to do the best I can here. Give me 1 second. Nope, that camera's still on. Okay, what's the problem? All right, I think we're back. Expanding the screen. I wish I could tell you what happened there. I have no idea. The Bulldog player is able to get up on his own power and make his way to the bench. Well, the defensive zone draw. Shot in on net, just wide. Chicago looks to go low to high. Lure in the way. He runs into the wall, falls over. A deflected puck up off the cage of Helsel. And he's whacked from behind, 22 from behind, whacking at the goalie's glove. That's a dangerous play. They were distracted by the pushing and shoving. The referee's distracted by the pushing and shoving in front. And Helsel took a couple whacks to the glove there. Young man in behind there, just giving him 2 or 3 whacks as I look at the replay. Pens will change their lines. Kumnick, Goldberg, Zachi, Stillwagon, and Baru. Chicago wins the draw. Played up and out by Kumnick. He's got some speed. He runs into a Chicago player, but he's there to pressure the puck, and him and Zachi will go to work in the corner. Zachi's pressure forcing it towards Kumnick. Just past his reach, and out comes Chicago 2-on-2. Stillwagon defending. Carried around him. Cut back into the middle. And there's a shot for Chicago. An outside in move around the defenders. And Helsel unable to get a glove on that one. He was kind of by himself there. The Pens had it into the offensive zone. But right now, we need a little more pressure when we get it in there. Zachi went after it. Kumnick was there as well. It's 6-4 Chicago. Here in period number 3, the Pens need a couple goals. Some good scoring chances here. I know they've got it in them. Ulowicz plays it up. It's Zachi. Stopped at the line by Ulowicz. It pops out to Kumnick. Played up to the line, and Ulowicz will try to gain the zone and will. Backing off a Bulldog defender. Ulowicz turning, centering, finding Goldberg. Unable to get it under control, and back comes Chicago 1-on-1. Played between the legs of Palladino, back for Helsel. He'll put it in the corner. He's good with that paddle. Gets that stick out, makes some plays. Puck pops free to Kumnick. He'll get free of it and send it up for Goldberg, who's into the zone. He gets to the puck, plays it into the right corner. Wins the race back, sends it around, but it'll be cut off by Chicago, and they'll come out with speed. Played off the wall and into the Penguins' right wing corner. A centering pass off a defender, and it'll sneak by. Centering pass goes off of a Penguin, changes direction. As Helsel going left to right, it goes off of his own player and in. He just sat on the line for a second. 7-4 Chicago, 7:18 to play. Grayson Baru there picking his goalie up, telling him, "We got this, buddy. Stay in it." (7-4 Chicago, 7:18 to play, third period. I'm going to take a second here to try to update some other scores to give you an idea of the Penguins' playoff pictures. The best thing is they can pick up 3 goals here, and we won't have to worry about it. That's the hope. Into the end comes Chicago, though. Firing a shot off Helsel's glove. Taken in behind by Stillwagon. Stillwagon will battle. Out from behind comes Chicago. Helsel there with the stick. And out comes Hassenkope. Into the offensive zone onside, following on his Straub. Carried wide and sent towards the net. Brought back in. Sent up into the corner for Stillwagon. He plays it around on a breakout attempt. Baru gets there. He'll carry it up the left wing side with speed. Moves it to Hassenkope in the middle. He'll battle a Chicago Bulldog player. I'm just changing cities and everything today, folks. Chicago will bring it in the left wing. Centering pass through the wickets of Lorzy and past all the Bulldogs. Turning with it. Pressured by Avolia. Played deep for Chicago. Chicago turning with it in the offensive zone. Laying on the pressure. They go low to high. Setting up the shot from the point. And what hand-eye coordination by Grayson Baru to knock it down. And he'll speed the other way. He's by 1. He's by 2. Cut off by the third man, but followed on by Hassenkope, who plays it in. Chicago will look to counterattack, though. 5:27 to play. In the zone comes Chicago. Whacked at by Hassenkope. Both players fall. Followed on by a Bulldog forward. He's pinned against the wall by Kumnick. Kumnick will battle. Kumnick comes away with it and now to Pegley. Pegley off the boards. Kumnick able to jostle it free. He's got speed and he's got a teammate with him. It's a 3-on-1. He's in on the backhand, sends it across. Hassenkope there. He's just a little too far in to get to the puck. It was out on top of the crease. He was carrying so much speed. Got a little tight, but Kumnick back on it. He plays it towards the middle, looking to center, turning with it as it's turned back. That play sent across the crease. Chicago will look to come out, but there's Pegley in the way. Pegley plays it up for, is that Lorzy, I think? Yep, Lorzy battling in front. In behind Hassenkope, centering pass for Lohr. Comes through to Pegley. Pegley with a snapshot. Lohr back on it. Lohr plays it high for Kumnick. Cycled back, and it'll come back to Pegley. He's had some good chances. Now play one deep for Lohr. Lohr looking in front. Throws it in, and it's in the net. Throws it off the back of the netminder, and the Pens have made it a 2-goal game. Ryan Lohr, I believe, will get it, throwing it towards the net off the back of the netminder and finding a way to get it in. He had Kumnick in front, I believe. I don't think it was touched, but I could be wrong. We'll see. Well, you might not see. I'll ask later. You can ask your friends and family at home. I believe it's Ryan Lohr from the wall. Coming off that wall and finding the back of the cage. 4 minutes to play. Pens need a pair. We have a false face-off, or we have interference. We have something. I'm not sure what happened here. Looks like we're going to go on another Seven Fields Wealth Management power play. Try to watch the replay. Looks like an interference call. Right on the opening draw. Be interesting to go back and watch that one. Pens are on the Seven Fields Wealth Management power play. It'll be Goldberg sending it for Hassenkope. His pressure turned over to Chicago. Goldberg gets to it, sends it back to the line, but no further. Body from Hassenkope there. No call. Baru with the puck. He turns under pressure. Plays it off the wall. If the Pens can get a chip here, they've got numbers. Chipped up by Avoli and brought on by Avoli and Hassenkope. Pressured from behind. He manages to get into the Chicago end. He goes down at the blue line, but keeps it in. Playing it further along, it's Hassenkope. He's got Avolia. Straube on the other wing. 1:15 to play on the power play. 3:05 in the period. It's Stillwagon. Stillwagon up for Avolia. Great pass there. Avolia trying to gain the zone. He does. Cornered by two Chicago Bulldogs, and out they come. Skating through center, makes a move. Comes off his stick to another Bulldog. Carried wide, the stick of Stillwagon in the way. Great job there. Avolia gets to it. Unable to get control. Now Chicago, two players coming out. 2-on-0. Helsel's got it. It's loose in front. No whistle, no whistle. Helsel back in net. And the Penguins come away with it. Hassenkope for Straub. Up over the blue line. We have a penalty. It looks like it'll be Palladino. And the Pens will even at 4-on-4 here for 23 seconds. And then for the most of the remainder of the game, Chicago will be on the power play. So the Pens will need to try to capitalize 4-on-4. They have 23 seconds to do it. If they can capitalize 4-on-4, Chicago will still have a power play. So they're going to need a 4-on-4 goal and a shorty. They'll be able to even it up, potentially pulling the netminder here in a little bit. Chicago into the zone. Throws one behind the net. It's Pegley. Pegley stops and turns. He goes down, but he gets it to Ulowitz. He'll reverse. And a hook by Chicago. Played up for Zanchi. He's got a step. He'll bring it back to the middle. He's got great hands. It comes free to, I believe, Hassencope, or maybe that's, I think it's a 4, as I'm really far away. I think that might have been Kumnik. Chicago bringing it back up. We have another penalty, folks. Another penalty call. This one will be on Chicago, evening it back up at 4. Minute 21 on the Penguin penalty. 1:39 to play in the game. It's 7-5. 4-on-4 hockey coming. Zachi and Kumnik. Pegley and Ulowitz. Ulowitz into the Chicago end. Off comes Helsel. The Pens will get 5-on-4. Turn to the middle. Fought off by the goalie. A backhander by Kumnik. Zachi from the wall. Throws it through the crease. It'll be Lohr to it. Ryan Lohr into the corner. He turns out. He centers one. Zachi there. He catches. He fires. It gets through. Blocked by the goalie. Played in behind. 1:07 to play. Pens applying a ton of pressure here. They have 5-on-4. It's 4-on-4 hockey, but they pulled the goalie. Back to Pegley. Pegley sends it in behind. Chicago looks to clear, and will they be able to get to the empty net? Back checking, Penguins in the way. Around 1, the empty net is there. He fires and finds it. It'll be 8-5 after the empty net 4-on-4 goal. Pens with some great pressure and a couple really nice chances there. They're not going to quit. 47 seconds. I bet you they keep working. They're going to put Helsel back in. It'll still be 4-on-4 hockey. Still 4-on-4 hockey. Looks like they put Palladino out, but he's not going to come out. The Penguins have 5 on the ice. It should not be 5. They're going to take off Hassencote. We'll have Avolia and Straub. Baru and Stillwagon. It should be 4-on-4 high. We're trying to figure it out. I think they're trying to figure out when Palladino can actually come out of the box. He should have about 27 seconds left on his penalty. He should be out at about 18, 19 seconds. So maybe 29 seconds. Into the zone comes Chicago again. Cut off by the Penguin D to the stick of Baru, but it's turned over there. It was a 2-on-0 deep, and Helsel able to cut it off. I don't think they got a shot, but he's able to be there for that play. There's a shot off Helsel. A rebound. Pops free. Nobody covered in front. Left the guy back door. That puck popped out front. Bounced off a player. Came in on Helsel. He makes the first stop. That rebound down to the left. And it was popped back in by Chicago. And they'll take a 9-5 lead. 24 seconds left. It should still be 4-on-4 hockey, and is. Avoli on the draw. Baru there. Chicago back into the zone. They'll fire one wide. Pens power play, or Penguins penalty over. They're on a power play for 10 more seconds. It's Avolia into the zone. He plays it deep. And Chicago will hold for the win. They're headed to the playoffs. Well, we'll get you information on your Penguins. I was trying to look up some scores. They will be tied for the last playoff spot. I do not know the tiebreaker. So contact your friends and family who are here supporting your Penguins and find out from them if we're going to play in the morning. If we do play in the morning, it'll be early. It'll be either 8 o'clock or 8:10. So 8 o'clock or 8:10 tomorrow. Hopefully it's our Pens Elite taking on someone at that point in time. This game, a final 9-5. Close throughout. Very close throughout. An empty netter for Chicago. 4-on-4 tally for Chicago towards the end. A pretty close game overall. You should be very proud of your Pens Elite players, coaches, families, siblings. Let's give a shout out to those siblings who come the whole way to these tournaments to support their brothers and sisters. It's a great thing to see. So hopefully we'll be bringing you another game at 8 or 8:10 tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.